You'll never be good enough!
Hello everyone, this is Tim, and as GMs, we are often our own worst enemy. We are our biggest critic, we beat ourselves up a lot, we'll relive moments and think how we could have done them better, and it's something that I have struggled with ever since I started running games.
No one is enjoying your campaign, you should just quit!
One good thing about being so hard on yourself is that you do tend to push yourself to improve, almost as a perfectionist would. You keep trying and struggling to do better this game, to have a better session than last session, but at the same time, by doing so, sometimes we demotivate ourselves. We push too far to the point of breaking. Things don't work out the way we had planned. Things don't, this sort of mentality just doesn't motivate you to be better, because sometimes it's just not worth it. Why should a person do that to themselves all the time? Why should you go through and be so hard on yourself? So it's a thing that I've been working on, trying to not do. So if there's any way to not be so hard on yourself, I'd love to hear it in the comments.
They'll never play your game again!
I often find that I put thoughts into my players' heads. They don't tell me things, but sometimes I infer things that are incorrect. I'll see that someone's, yawning and seemingly not interested in what I'm doing, and I start to hear these little voices in my head saying things like, this is the most boring session ever, this guy's totally not into it, you should have spent more time on this, you should have had a better idea. And instead of just asking the person, I just tend to fill in the blanks, as it were, and put all kinds of terrible thoughts into their heads, or just that they're just not having fun, and really I should just go and ask them, was that the most boringest session ever? Or do you got other stuff going on that has nothing to do with the game? And often that's normally the case. He had a fight with his wife, or they just got a really bad grade on a college exam. There's all these other things that can go into a player's mentality, into how they do things, how they role play a session sometimes, and we need to take that into account. That real life often can throw monkey wrenches into a game, and you need to not fill in the blanks so much as a GM when it comes to a player's mentality, what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what their enjoyment level is. Sometimes players are just quiet, and for them, that is enjoyment. They're just listening. They're enjoying the interactions of the other characters and the NPCs, or whatever's going on. So just be careful on filling in those blanks, because often you're going to fill it in with stuff that isn't true.
No one likes the way that you run your games!
There are other times when you fill in the blanks from body language and any sort of thing you can infer that is correct, that sometimes the players don't want to tell you. You have to sort of guess, because they're not being very communicative towards you. They're not telling you their problems with the game. They're not telling you what's going on. So it can be a good thing to fill in these blanks and sort of be hard on yourself, because maybe you will make a better game that they will enjoy next time. But you shouldn't have so much guesswork involved. You should try to, again, communicate with your players, blah blah blah. We always talk about that. But yeah, just be careful with that.
You have the worst ideas I've ever heard of in a role-playing game session! Shut up! Stop being so stupid!
By being so hard on yourself, you might motivate yourself to do more prep. But sometimes there's just a certain level of prep that you need, and then you can go way beyond that. You can spend hours and hours and hours working on things that'll never see the light of day, that the players are never going to see. And these things that you're working on that's taking up so much time could be cutting into real life things that you need to do, like laundry, cleaning, chores around the house, etc. So don't let that voice kind of scare you into doing too much prep. I know at times, especially for conventions, I have that looming fear of, they're all going to hate the game. They're going to think these props are silly and stupid. They're going to think the idea for this one-shot is just ridiculous. And that fear, I think, has me sometimes, like, I'll just be working on a one-shot for, 3 or 4 times the length of that gaming session in prep time. And I probably don't need to spend that much time on things. So, again, just don't let that, fears, your concerns for the game, don't let them really just sort of run you down. I know you can sort of beat yourself up emotionally to the point that, when it comes to the game, you're already burned out, maybe even before you even played, because all of these sort of inner dialogue thoughts are bouncing around in your head, and I don't know, again, it's just too much for yourself.
The reason no one shows up for your games is you're terrible. It doesn't matter if they have a busy life. You just run an absolutely shit game.
I guess one final thing. This inner dialogue, this hard critique of your own GMing, I think often has contributed to the early death of campaigns. You get to the point where you don't think it's worth it anymore, that you don't think the players are having fun, you think the campaign is dull, cliched, you get a bit jaded perhaps, depending on what your group's like and what your players are like. And again, a lot of times I think with these things that you fill in, you fill them incorrectly. You put things there that aren't there. It's almost like you've conjured up a legion of ghosts. Each ghost is a different problem with the campaign. And then whenever you look at your campaign prep and notes, and you think about past sessions, you just think of all your failures, and those thoughts about your failures can just stack up to the point that it just looks like it's just this towering wall that's about ready to fall on top of you. Maybe like a giant Jenga tower of what you consider to be bad ideas, bad decisions, bad choices, bad house rules, whatever the case may be. So in the end, really just try not to beat yourself up so much. Try not to be so hard on yourself. Try to give yourself a little bit of slack. Remember that every GM, even experienced GMs, veteran GMs that have been doing this for multiple decades, they're going to run bad campaigns. They're going to run bad sessions. They're going to have problems. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to take the wrong path, make bad decisions, call for the wrong dice roll, or get a roll mixed up, whatever the case may be. So don't be so hard on yourself, and hopefully my interjections from my other videos weren't too loud and disturbing. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later.
You're not gonna come up with any more interesting ideas. It's just gonna suck from here on out. Stop! Just stop running this campaign.